Oh, okay, let's do what we dislike about each other.
Oh, yeah, I actually forgot about that topic. Yeah, okay, what a great way to start the day. Yeah. Okay.
I made little notes for like all of them.
You have notes why you dislike me. I have no notes. I remember all the reasons why I dislike you guys.
So the first one, I guess, is yeah, I think I realize sometimes when INFPs express their emotions that maybe I don't always know how to be like emotionally supportive.
But that was like more about you. Okay.
No, I can feel like, I don't know. I feel like there's times with you even when I'm like, oh my god, I know like I probably should have been more emotionally supportive, and I'll like try my best, but like sometimes I know I can just be kind of awkward about it. So it's not like I dislike the INFP's emotionality, but that's maybe just like an instance in the INFP INTJ relationship where there's like a little bit of like discomfort. We don't know how exactly to get along.
Like you wanna be comforting, but you don't know how.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like actually really interesting because I see that with our relationship, but like my discomfort aspect is not that you're not comforting me enough, it's that I sense that you're uncomfortable with not knowing how to comfort me.
Right.
Like, because sometimes I'm like upset, and this ENFJ person I know and this ENTP person I know, they would immediately like be really comforting with their like FEs, and yeah, like immediately it would feel good, like whatever. But I actually totally don't mind the total lack of FE in the INTJ, like when I'm upset and they're just like, oh, you have this problem. Like, how are we gonna solve this problem? Or just like this blank statement. I actually don't mind at all, but yeah, so for you and maybe for some other people, I can sense that they feel uncomfortable, that they don't know how to emotionally comfort me, and I'm like, oh, I don't feel uncomfortable. I kind of like that you're so logical in maintaining this situation. It's kind of part of like the attributes that I like about you guys. Oh my gosh, this is so bad because I just said I don't mind. Now I'm gonna be like, I mind. No, but that was about like comforting people, like comforting me when I'm sad. Okay, in general, like I think for like romantic aspects, yeah, sometimes the INTJ is just very like in their heads. Like sometimes, like if the INTJ is in their head, it's like so hard to like get them out of their heads or to like express connection, or yeah, like okay, basically I'm just like trying to say that it's like so hard to tell if an INTJ likes me. I feel okay, for example, there's I've been with like some people where it's just so obvious that they like you. Like, you know, I could be in a room with someone for like an hour and be like, okay, yeah, that person likes me, even, you know, as a friend, as like something else, or whatever. But for an INTJ, sometimes I like literally have sex with them, and afterwards I'm like, I don't know if he likes me. I just don't know. Like, how can I know? Like, yeah. So it's kind of like this love-hate thing because of like penetrating the mystery of like, what are they actually thinking and feeling about me? Never will know.
Yeah, I mean, I can say that's even something that I know I have to work on. So, okay. One thing, perhaps, that I dislike with INFPs is when their SI is like very rigidly stuck with some sort of like association in their head, and maybe as an INTJ I'm trying to like give some sort of like logical I don't know, argument as like why that SI connection might not like always be the case. I don't think it's not necessarily something that I dislike again with INFPs, but well, okay, it depends. I think it depends if it's like the INFP's sort of like own mode of operation that has to do with their life, and if I just kind of maybe think that like, oh, maybe this SI is like kind of a stumbling block, you know, and maybe it would, you know, help them if they kind of, you know, saw that maybe that SI association is a little bit too broad than might be true. I mean, that's fun. I'm learning that, you know, like everyone has their own journey, right? And maybe that's something that you dislike about INTJs is that like forcefulness of TE in those kind of situations. But I think when the INFP has some sort of opinion on like how I should live my life based on some sort of like SI association, and I don't think this is so much with you, but maybe more like other INFPs that I've encountered, but yeah, if they're very stuck to this SI thing, that I'm like, no, that's just not true. But yeah, that can be kind of a point where we might not be able to get past it.
Yeah, I think so. I think, like, for me, most of the SI dictatorship is, like, towards myself. Yeah, and maybe, like, a less healthy INFP could be, like, let me impose this upon, like, everyone else.
Yeah. Okay, so one last point that I have. This might be, I don't know, less so for you, but I know an INFP who is, like, a bit older, so I think maybe their TE is a bit more well developed. But I think because the TE is in that like last fourth function slot, you guys can sometimes even use it for like to have fun, right? Like you just enjoy doing TE things and that kind of makes you feel good. But I think for an INTJ with TE higher up, it's kind of a more dominant part of our psyche, and like sometimes using TE is very stressful. So I know that sometimes when an INFP like might just enjoy this TE burst of like doing, and then like trying to like get me into it, while I'm like, no, I just need like an SE burst of like getting away from like all of that. So sometimes, yeah, that can maybe like stress me out a little bit.
That's interesting. I would say like I only enjoy the TE burst in terms of like mentally, like conceptually I just like the fact that I'm accomplishing things, like that kind of gets me off, but I don't think I actually enjoy the act of doing, like it is also very stressful to me. That's why, yeah.
I think in this sense it was more about like the INFP talking about like what they were going to do the next day or something, and it was like the end of the day and I just like wanted to like wind down and like do like SE activities, and the INFP's like, oh, I'm gonna do this and this and this and this and this tomorrow. What are you gonna do tomorrow? And I'm like, no, I don't want to think about what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I think like all the time about my entire like future projections. So like now I just want to like be in SE mode.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you think all the time about your future projections. That's very interesting. Do I have a last thing about INTJs or not? I don't know. Sometimes you guys are like really blunt, but that's also like a love-hate thing. Is the cute thing is that you guys almost never know that you're being blunt, like almost never. And so it's not really like an often occurrence, just like I enjoy this much more than like when an FE user wants to offend you and then they say something and it works and it's just like so hurtful. But sometimes the INTJ, like what they say, they're just like saying some observation, but the way that they word it can come off as like whoa, like and I usually don't mind, because I think when I was younger I think I would be really sensitive towards this, but now I'm like, oh, it's kind of just more amusing that I don't really realize. And okay, so the thing that I actually like about this is that even if it might be like hurtful immediately, afterwards I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's true, because usually the INTJ is just giving you some observation about yourself, so I'm like, oh yeah, there's like truth to what they said, and I can use that to like grow. Yeah
yeah, that's definitely something that I'm like aware of.
Tell us why you don't like us in the comments.
Okay, yeah, actually that's good. Other types, so why do you not like us? That'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, don't be afraid of hurting my feelings. I'm more mature now. And then like later I'm gonna cry in a corner.